Hello, hello. Hold on one second while I get it set up. Check and make sure I am live. Okay. Let's see. All right. Hi, everyone. It's Kathy Schmitt, the Backyard Stamper. And tonight we are going to be looking at card sketch number 2. So this sketch was really a lot of fun because I did it both vertically and horizontally. It is very, very versatile. All right. And we'll talk about the housekeeping after. So let me just turn that out of the way and let's get started. So I have my sketch here. We will build together. Somewhere safe. All right. Hi, Deb. Thanks for popping on. All right, here we go. So I have a card base that's going to be scored at or an 11 by 4 1/4. So this, remember, I always use a card front for my sketches. So it's going to be 11 and it's scored at 5 1/2, or sorry, 4 1/4 and 9 3/4. And I'm going to show you when I make the card. Then I have a layer 2 is going to be 4 1/8 square. And let me rotate it in the right way. We're going to do it this way. And this piece here is 4 1/8 by 1. So I've got a skinny, skinny border here. Actually, why am I not taking this? Pay attention. Ah. All right, so yep, like so. And we'll take this guy down. I like using these little card fronts as my templates because then I can just keep them in a file box. They don't take up much room. All right, so this is going to be my layer 2 piece. This is 4 inches squared. And you need the 4 1/8. You're going to need 2 of those. And you need a 4 1/8 for the, 4 inch by 4 inch for the outside and also one for the inside. So, and then this piece is 1 by 4. And then a focal point, a focal image of your choice. So I'm just going to make this into a little circle focal point. And we'll pop that in the center. And remember, when you go to make your cards using the templates, then that's where you may add additional layers or embellishments and stuff. This just gives you the foundation to build your card. So let's bring in the card pieces and I will show you how to make this. All right, so this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. And I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. Use the bigger tip. 4 1/4 and 9 3/4. That's all the scoring that we need to do. All right, so let's go ahead and burnish those. It folds similar to a gatefold. So you're going to fold both sides in. So this side would open, this side would open. But we're going to actually go ahead and glue that down for our card. You could leave it open. and have like another hidden message under there. I am going to glue mine down. So paper got crooked. Here we go. All righty. My template is right here. So I've got this piece here. Now my layer 2 is going to be just great. This is balmy blue. So 4 1/8 square, teeny tiny borders, remember, for this card. This template is so versatile because you can make it as a gift card holder. If you leave a pocket there, like I said, you can open it. We can make it horizontal or vertical. So it's got a lot of possibilities. Here is my 4 1/8 by 1 1/8 piece. That's going to go on that little ragged edge right there. There we go. I love this color purple. I'm really a fan of the gorgeous grape dark purple versus like a lighter purple. I just love the dark. This paper here is in our new catalog, and that is called Pleasant Patterns, Mixed Up Patterns. And that's on page 65 of your new catalog. And this set of designer paper is so amazing because it's all eclectic patterns and small print. So they're easy to go on as a card layer without overpowering your card. Tons of color choices in here. So you'll find a pattern for whatever you're working on with this pack. It's a good one. So I need to, so what I did was I picked 2 different patterns. And I have a little pink here. All right. Like so. And then let's do our inside layering. And oh, I didn't take that down. Funny, funny, funny. There we go. So now I have my outside. Let's do our inside. I'm going to double mat this as well to just make it look extra nice. This is a template that I think my in-person class, will really enjoy doing. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. So I have my foundation. Let's make the focal point. And grab, let me show you. We're going to use another designer paper pack. And it's at the beginning of the book here. There we go. It's called Love Notes, Mix and Match. This is the only new paper in this catalog that is a 6x6 paper. All the rest are 12x12s. And I have a paper share going on right now. If you go to my blog, backyardstamper.com, or scan this QR code, you can find out more information about my paper shares. But that's a way to get all of the papers, and you split the papers with others so that the cost is also split. So my paper share is $49.50 if it's a porch pickup, or $60 if I'm mailing it priority mail. And you will get 13 different designer papers, plus a sampling of 2 more specialty papers. So it's really a phenomenal deal. But this pack here is the one I was focusing on. And I wanted to point out that it's a 6x6 and they have 3-inch squares. And there's writing on it. We just click, you're extra special, you're sweet, and happy Valentine's Day. But I was like, well, I don't know that I want a Be Mine, right? But if you flip it over, see, here's Be Mine. I punched that. And if you flip it over, the same piece, you will get the same design without the writing. So in this sample here, it says love you more, but if you just flip that over, it's the floral arrangement without the words. That really extends the use of this card designer pack immensely, because now you're not just limited to Valentine's Day. So I like that. I like it. All right. So we are going to use a heart. Oh, and you know what? I was going to show you a paper saving method and I forgot and glued my paper down. I got to get a scrap of gorgeous grape. I meant to punch my hole before I glued it down. See here, my gorgeous grape. Here it is. Okay. So normally if you're doing a layered piece, you can punch the piece and then you're going to cover it with another piece. That's what I meant to do. Hi, Phyllis. How you doing? Nice to see you. All right, so we're going to just punch out. This punch was a 2-pack, and you had the scallop edge and the plain edge. And that was retired a couple years ago, but I love it. So that's going to stay in my collection. All right, so we've got, there's going to be my focal image. And if I don't like that one, let's see. You could also use a circle. I could use this one. But we're going to make it with the hearts. And then I need my heart saying down here. I am going to do my little strip trick where you stamp the strip and then just kind of cut on the edge. This is my inside piece for my stamping. The stamp set I'm going to use is this Valentine Kisses, to use Happy Valentine's and sending lots of love your way, and some little hearts. And I am going to stamp it in Gorgeous Grape. My Gorgeous Grape was feeling very left out. So I wanted to give it some attention. That looks good. Let's do our inside. I always like to stamp first in case I need to flip. I am going to flip that over, and then I will take the better of the 2 sides. How about that? Didn't quite get that center better. Okay, well, I think I'm going to stick with the original. At least it's straight. And I'm going to put in some purple hearts. You know, my Gorgeous Grape was feeling a little bit left out, so now I'm going to go ahead and use it. All right, so let's assemble our card. I have a bunch of other samples with this layout to show you, so I think you're gonna like them. That. And then for my happy Valentine's Day, I'm just going to cut and cut. It's my favorite trick for using extra pieces like that. And then I'm going to just use my end strip here of my dimensionals to pop that up. So cute. Do I dare stamp some hearts on the outside here? I think I'll stick with gems. Safer, right? That would be awful if I messed up my outside of my card after I've glued everything down. There's no mistakes in stamping, just opportunities. Right, so there's my heart, but before I put that on, I want to get some ribbon. White ribbon here. I want to do like a zigzaggy thing back and forth. Let's see if I can do it. This is hard for me. I don't know why, but so that looks like that. And that looks like that. Yes. All right. Let me grab my ribbon scissors. Okay, and I need a little piece of tear and tape to hold my ribbon down. All right, so let's do this. Let's cut off a little bit of white. Okay, and I want to go zig and zag, zig and zag, and then another zig. Then I'm going to put my tear and tape down to hold it in place. And I'll leave one tail a little longer so you see it, right? And then I'll be like that. Not too bad. That is really hard for me to do. Dimensionals will cover up the tear and tape piece, so that's nice. And I also want to just add a couple of rhinestones just to give this card a little more pizzazz. So the problem with that is that the ribbon ended up, or the dimensionals ended up on my ribbon. So hold on one second here, let me fix that. So dimensionals don't like to stick to dimensions, or dimensionals don't like to stick to ribbon, I guess. There. The only one. Yep. All right. And then let's add some bigger ones down here. Ooh. That shines that right up. And then we'll add some small ones up here. Let me just move this one a little bit more. Kind of stuck it out there in the middle of nowhere. Move this one. I like it. One last thing. Now this is all, the card was fine the way it was, but this is just, if you have these extra tools and you want to jazz it up, it doesn't take much. I used a little bit of ribbon, some just, gems, and some Wink of Stella. This is that Love Notes paper pack, and this is the Mixed Up Patterns designer paper. And then one stamp set did my inside and outside. So that is card template, card sketch number 2, and I will have a printable on my website, backyardstamper.com, in just a few minutes after the video gets done. And you will be able to print out the card sketch, and then the QR code will take you back to the video if you would like. So let me show you my other samples. So this list, for some reason that didn't stick to me, because this is what I do for myself and for my card sketches. I'm not using dimensionals just to keep them flatter, but I write the direction or my layers, my measurements on the back, and then I'll put that right in my file box. And when I want to pull out, need some inspiration, I can just flip it over. I see my measurements and my cards come together really, really quickly. Because I don't really have to think about it other than trying to get some DSP. All right, so here's my original. This is using a new designer paper called, help me, Deb, what is that called? Oh, it's beautiful paper. Yeah, here it is. Lovely and Beautiful. Lovely and Beautiful 12 by 12 paper. So that's what this uses. And then this is from the same suite, the set of dies, layering, and these vellum pieces and the ribbon. So I made this one with all the pieces from the Lovely and Beautiful suite and these little gems too. I think that one's really pretty. All right. And then, oh, see how it's horizontal? This one was vertical. So let me show you. I've got my little Lucy the Lamb sending flowers and sunshine. You're simply fabulous. So this, even though the paper has some hearts on the flowers, I can send this card anytime I want because I'm just sending sunshine and flowers, right? That one's so cute. And here is another example using the same layout, using exactly the same paper, and I just changed my doodad into a Valentine doodad and added some gems. So, and my last fun card is my Lucy the Lamb again. So this uses the same layout as here, only I used the Woolly Friends stamp set to make it, and used some gems here and some balmy blue ribbon, which is on the last chance list, and that's a great ribbon to have. And then just did my stamping inside, and missing a gem here because I usually there should be 5 and there's only 4. Oh, I can see my glue dot, so my gem must have fallen off somewhere. But there are my cards using template sketch number 2. See the versatility? So while you're looking at that, let me just show you a couple other quick housekeeping items. January started a new product of the month. And so this time it's this awesome greeting set called Fabulous Sayings. There's 10 stamps to this and a mixture of fonts, and these fonts match some other fonts in our catalog. So it's really, this is great, great saying. So the product of the month is available until January 31st, and you can earn this with an order, a product order of $75, and that's after your discount and before the shipping. Okay, so it's product. And there on your ordering, there's a slider bar that will say you've earned or you're eligible for the product of the month. Now, the product of the month costs $5, so they cannot automatically put it into your cart. You have to say, yes, I want that. So don't forget to, when you see that slider bar, once it says you are eligible, click that you want it added to your cart. And for $5, this is easily a $24, $25 stamp set. So that's awesome. And also in January it's bonus days. So for every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon to use in February. So now you can stack these. Once you hit the 75, you'll be eligible for the product of the month, and you'll get a $5 coupon for next month. So be sure when you're putting in an order to keep an eye on your cart, the CSV value, which is the product value, and make sure that if you have any rewards that you're using, that it doesn't bring you under the $75. Because if it does, then you won't be eligible for the product of the month. And the same if you've done under 50, because you want your $5 coupon. I mean, we all want coupons so we can save money, right? And that's it. Don't forget, I still have paper shares available. Please visit my blog at backyardstampin.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter by scanning my QR code. And that's about it. I'll have this template uploaded with all of my measurements, and my samples. So what I did was I put some of my samples in there too. So that's it for now. Take care, everyone, and please like and share my video. It really helps me grow my channel, and I appreciate that. So, take care. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. Thank you, Phyllis. And thank you, everyone else that's here.